Hey, me again. I wonder if this is backwards to you. I think it is. It says abide. I'm sure you can read it. Anyway. So, I've been thinking about this for a little bit. You know, the little tiny trees that are like newborn trees, and they have to put those like guide wires on there. My husband and I had a conversation about it. They're called guy wires, but guy is French for guide, so they're both guy wire, guide wire. Anyway, so you know how they need staked, right? Like to keep them stable, to keep them strong. A young tree needs to learn or be able to just grow on its own without the wind knocking it down, or without, they stake it to the ground and they keep it there and leave it alone, right? They don't like mess with it. So that tells me two things. A, spiritually, a young plant, a young growing Christian, if you will, needs to be staked. It needs to be firmly planted in the soil so that it can grow strong roots. And it doesn't need to be swayed by doctrine. It just needs to be left alone so that it can just, hey, look, abide. I didn't even really think about the shirt when I was doing the thing. So it can just abide in Him, right? So it can just grow. You water it, you give it sun, you give it love, you talk to it, right? You talk to little new plants. It needs to be tended. Spiritually immature people need to be tended to. So imagine, if you will, we'll go back to my plant and my tree analogy, that I am like, oh, you're strong enough, you're fine. And I start cutting the wires, I start cutting the guide wires, and I start letting like all the wind and the rain and all the tornado-y things, I don't know, wind, lots of wind. The tree is not going to survive. So it is like mature Christians are like, oh, you're fine. Yeah, just go do this. And they're not seeing how precious this little tiny plant is. I know I'm going back and forth between physical and spiritual matters here, but hopefully you can keep up. When you tell this person, this is the way it is, and no, you're not doing that right, and you're just throwing a bunch of wind at it, and then it's going to fall over. This little precious Christian needs to be tended to, not like some people do. Just show them love, mercy, grace, not do this and this is the way it is and you're not doing this right. Just try to help them and guide them, help them to be firmly planted in the Word. Yeah. Okay. That's all. Love you. Bye.